I want you to watch this like unbelievable exchange. Watch.
They raise rates on the front end.
Well, Europe is in a very, very sharp economic downturn. The sharp decline of output and living standards also shows up as a rise of prices. But the main fact is that the European economy is getting hammered by this, by the sudden cutoff of energy. And now, to make it definitive, the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, which I would bet was a U.S. action, perhaps U.S. and Poland. This is
Jeff, we got to stop there. That's quite a statement as well. Why do you feel that was a U.S. action? What evidence do you have of that?
Well, first of all, there's direct radar evidence that U.S. helicopters, military helicopters that are normally based in Gdansk, were circling over this area. We also had the threats from the United States earlier in this year that one way or another, we are going to end Nord Stream. We also have a remarkable statement by Secretary Blinken last Friday in a press conference. He says, this is also a tremendous opportunity. It's a strange way to, it's a strange way to talk if you're worried about.
Just listen to them try to cut him off. Like, oh my God, beep, beep, beep. He's going afoul of the mainstream narrative. Like Tom tried to cut him off. And now Lisa Abramowitz is trying to cut him off. Like,
his
oh my God.
His face was hilarious when the news anchor responds in a negative way. He went, yeah, I said that.
Oh, I said that? I'm going to get in trouble here, get a little spanking?
Sorry, but I was always going to say that.
So listen to Lisa now try to cut him off. Watch.
It's a strange way to talk if you're worried about the piracy on international infrastructure of vital significance. So I know this runs counter to our narrative. You're not allowed to say these things in the West. But the fact of the matter is, all over the world, when I talk to people, they think the U.S. did it. Just to tell you, and by the way, even reporters on our papers that are involved tell me privately, yeah, well, of course, but it doesn't show up in our media.
Professor, I don't want to get into tit for tat about what did or did not happen with Nord Stream, because I don't have the.
Yeah, because you know what, we don't want to cover that story.
I don't want to get in tit for tat, and I also don't want evidence.
Right.
We can't have that.
So let's just speed this segment up and cut you off. And by the way, now, if you go to Bloomberg's website to try to find this segment, you can't find it. So this is Bloomberg's website. Do a search for Jeffrey Sachs. The latest result is from February of 2022, the day after right around the day that I think the war broke out. So you can't find this segment. They've censored this segment.
I mean, think of all the things that the media is perfectly willing to speculate upon. But this, come on.
Yeah, we can't do this. No. And we're going to hide this result.
Well, I absolutely love that they're like, so what are your thoughts on the Nord Stream pipeline? And he's like, well, this is my thoughts. So I don't want to get into the tit for tat. Like, well, then why did you ask? Like, you brought it up.
I mean, we had this big discussion about 9/11, like who was responsible, you know, like who should then we make pay for what they did to us, right?
Yeah.
This is one of the major pipelines that's delivering natural gas to Europe. People will freeze, you know. And again, this is, you see students in the Czech Republic yesterday morning. You know, this video is unbelievable. The students in Czech Republic wearing blankets because they're not turning on the heat. So all of these students are just huddled in blankets in classrooms. Like that's what's happening, guys. So again, he talked about President Biden specifically making this threat back in the early part of the year. Listen to President Biden say it.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
Yeah, we will bring an end to it, right? He goes on and on about that. The same thing has happened with Victoria Nuland, we featured here on the show. Regime change champion Victoria Nuland, who installed a puppet regime inside Ukraine and who told Europe to go F itself, is the same person who said we would take it out. Remember this?
With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
I love her smile too. You know, like she's like, it will not move forward. She reminds me of like Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. Then you have Antony Blinken, of course, who Jeffrey Sachs was referring to, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken deflecting the question, dodging the question about who attacked the Nord Stream pipeline, and instead of turning it right around to the sort of Klaus Schwab World Economic Forum Great Reset play, which is, this is a great opportunity for the world. We should not miss this opportunity. Listen.
Ultimately, this is also a tremendous opportunity. It's a tremendous opportunity to once and for all remove the dependence on Russian energy, and thus to take away from Vladimir Putin the weaponization of energy as a means of advancing his imperial designs.
Yeah, so it's an amazing opportunity. And then we actually last night we had U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm like piling on and agreeing with Antony Blinken about this is an amazing opportunity. So this is the White House line now. You heard it from Karine Jean-Pierre, who's the White House press spokesperson. You've heard it now from Antony Blinken. You're hearing it from Jennifer Granholm. They're all speaking from the same script, which is this is an amazing energy opportunity for us to move towards this great reset agenda, which is to get you off of fossil fuels. We should use this. We should use it. We created the problem. We should use it. Listen to Jennifer Granholm.
I think Russia has proven itself to be an unreliable energy partner. It used to be reliable. No more. No country wants to take the risk of putting a significant amount of its energy demand to Russia's supply. It is clear. And in fact, I think this accelerates the EU's push to become energy independent through clean energy. And they're building up their own homegrown energy.